March 8, 2014. A Boeing 777 carrying 239 people takes off into the night. Families are asleep. Passengers relax in their seats. The flight appears completely normal. And then, the plane disappears. No distress call. No explosion detected. No confirmed crash site. One moment, it exists on radar. The next, it is simply gone. What followed became the largest aviation search in human history. Governments searched oceans. Military systems were analyzed. Satellite data was examined in secret. And yet, despite years of investigation, nobody could fully explain what happened to Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. How can a modern passenger jet simply vanish? Why did the aircraft suddenly change direction? Who or what caused it? And perhaps the most disturbing question of all, if a Boeing 777 can disappear without a trace, could it happen again? This is the mystery of MH370. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 was scheduled to fly from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. On board were 239 people, passengers from multiple countries, families, business travelers, children, crew members. The aircraft itself was considered one of the safest passenger jets in the world, a Boeing 777. Experienced pilots operated the flight. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah had thousands of flight hours. Nothing initially suggested danger. At 12:41 a.m. local time, the plane took off normally. Everything appeared routine. The weather was calm. Communication systems functioned properly. No technical emergency was reported. For nearly 40 minutes, the flight continued exactly as expected. Then, at 1:19 a.m., air traffic control received the final radio transmission from the cockpit. "Good night, Malaysian 370. Nothing sounded unusual. No fear, no panic, no indication that something was wrong. But only minutes later, the aircraft vanished from civilian radar, completely. At first, controllers assumed a technical issue, but then military radar revealed something shocking. The aircraft had not disappeared immediately. Instead, it appeared to turn around. MH370 changed course sharply and began flying back across Malaysia. This was no autopilot drift. Someone had intentionally changed direction, and then things became even stranger. Communication systems on the aircraft appeared to shut down one by one. The transponder stopped transmitting. Tracking systems went silent. It was as if the aircraft was deliberately disappearing. For hours, the plane continued flying beyond normal tracking systems, completely invisible to most of the world, and nobody on board sent a distress signal. No phone calls, no emergency message, nothing. It was as if the aircraft had entered darkness. Then came the satellite data. A British satellite company detected faint electronic handshakes from the aircraft. Tiny automated signals. They revealed something horrifying. The search for MH370 quickly became international. Countries across the world joined the operation. Ships, aircraft, satellites, deep-sea sonar systems. The Indian Ocean became the center of one of the most expensive searches ever conducted. But investigators faced a terrifying problem. They didn't actually know where the plane went. Based on satellite analysis, officials concluded the aircraft likely flew south into the remote southern Indian Ocean, one of the most isolated places on Earth. An area so vast, it seemed almost impossible to search completely. Weeks passed, then months. Still nothing. No major wreckage, no confirmed crash site, no black boxes. For the families of passengers, the uncertainty became unbearable. Many refused to believe the plane had crashed. Others suspected governments were hiding information. Over the years, several major theories emerged, but none fully explain every detail. Theory 1: pilot suicide. This became one of the most discussed explanations. Investigators discovered that Captain Zahari had simulated unusual flight routes on his home flight simulator. Some believed he intentionally diverted the aircraft before crashing it into the ocean. The controlled turnback seemed deliberate. The shutdown of communication systems also suggested human action. But there were problems. No suicide note was ever found. No clear motive emerged. Theory 2: hijacking. Possibly by terrorists, possibly by someone on board. The intentional course changes and communication shutdowns could support this. But again, there were no demands, no claims of responsibility, no confirmed signs of struggle. A hijacker managed to avoid detection for hours, which seemed almost impossible. Theory 3. Fire or decompression. Some experts proposed a catastrophic onboard emergency, perhaps a fire, perhaps sudden decompression. This could have incapacitated passengers and crew, leaving the plane to continue on autopilot. Then there are the conspiracy theories. Some believe MH370 was accidentally shot down. Others think sensitive cargo was involved. Some claim governments know exactly what happened, but refuse to reveal the truth. There is no verified evidence supporting these ideas. But because the wreckage remains missing, speculation continues to grow. And perhaps that uncertainty is what keeps the mystery alive. Perhaps the most disturbing aspect of MH370 is not how it disappeared, but how long it may have continued flying afterward. Imagine being on that plane. Hours pass. No announcements, no clear destination. Darkness outside. More than a decade later, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in aviation history. 239 people boarded that aircraft, and somehow, modern technology could not tell us exactly where they went. No complete wreckage, no final answers, no certainty, only fragments and questions. What truly happened inside that cockpit? Why did the aircraft turn away from its route? And how can a Boeing 777 simply vanish in the modern world? Maybe one day, the ocean will finally give up its secrets. But until then, MH370 remains a mystery lost somewhere in the dark. What do you think happened to MH370? Pilot action, hijacking, mechanical failure, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoy mysteries, subscribe.